Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of Holistic Movement with me. Last week, I was talking to a friend, a Viking of the Dane persuasion, and she was telling me, while she's a therapist as well, she was working on someone, and she said instead of spacing out to the external world, she spaced in. And I thought, wow, that's wonderful. Can I use this? And I just thought, what a wonderful description of, and hopefully I'm interpreting what she meant well. If I didn't, please reprimand me, Amelia. That she went inward to her own emotional state and her feelings while she was working on that other person. And this is wonderful. What a wonderful idea and feeling. Meaning, can we, while we're helping someone else, and this doesn't mean that you have to necessarily be a therapist. You could be listening to friends, family, or to anyone. And can you, while you're listening to them, feel what's going on within you? Whether there's any bodily tension, what kind of feelings are coming up for you. And I love this because, one, it has you centered on yourself, but while engaging in the task at hand. And most importantly, when you feel inwardly, when you create that space in, which I later interpreted it and added to it, meaning, can you create space within your psyche, your heart, your mind, whatever you want to call it, and create expansion? Because think about this, the compression from the outside world and the stresses of life, the emotional stresses of others, it compresses us. And so we don't have space within us to be calm and let go of that chronic habitual state of muscular tension, as Alan Watts called it. So let's create space within, physical space and emotional space within our psyche by starting out releasing the occipitals. What are the occipitals? I'll put a picture up there. I've talked about them before. These are the muscles at the base of your skull. These muscles have way more muscle spindles and mechanoreceptors than other muscles in the body. Why? Because they're connected to the dura mater, the gray matter around your spinal cord and your brain, and connected to your eyes. Anytime that you turn your eyes, you're actually moving these muscles, or these muscles are moving the eyes. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. Now, let's release it through Feldenkrais, awareness through movement. Up here, this camera. And sorry if the camera's a little bit crooked. I'm crooked. I'm askew. Now, first thing we're going to do before we even start the exercise is just move our head to the left and right and notice which side is more difficult to move than the other. So really slowly, you're just going to turn your head to the left and right, ideally with your eyes closed so you can feel and create that space in, space inward, space in. Thank you, Amelia. Hopefully I pronounced your name right, but I probably didn't. Now, for me, I feel more tension when I turn my head to the left, on the left side of my neck. What about you? Just observe. This is not a stretch. You're just observing. Okay, now, come on back to the center. We're going to bend our knees. That way our lower back's in a better position and it puts our cervical spine in a better position as well. Okay, now, the first thing that directs the movement are the eyes. The eyes are the leader here. So we're going to turn both eyes to our left, and the head is going to follow the eyes. We get to our end range here. Then first thing we do is turn our eyes to the right while our head is in that left position. And then the head follows the eyes. Get to the end range here, turn your eyes to the left, head follows to the left. Now I'm going to close my eyes. I hope you're doing the same. And when you do that, are you spacing in? You like that? That's the present continuous tense. The verb of spacing, spacing in. And when you do this, do you notice that any other parts of your body are tensing? I noticed my rib cage was tensing up, so I'm relaxing my rib cage. And then my shoulders are tensing up, so now I'm relaxing my shoulders. And then I notice I'm going too fast. So I'm slowing this down by 50%. Can you do the same? I can't see you, but I'm guessing you were going as fast as I was. The slower you do this movement, the easier it is for your body to let go of tension and feel more and create the space within. The more you relax your tissues, the more expansion you create. What about your jaw? What's your jaw doing? My belly just tensed. I'm relaxing my belly. Let's do one more on each side. Okay, come back to the center. Let's straighten the legs out. Relax here. Take a few breaths here. Okay, now turn your head to the left and right again. Do you notice any difference? If you don't, I'm a horrible teacher. I'm sorry. If you do notice a difference, just call me Gandalf. I'm a magician. Now, we didn't do this for a long period of time. The longer you do it, the more and in a relaxed manner, it's going to have more of an effect. So if you would like to try it again, if you made no difference, pause the video now and try to do it for longer and then see. In the meantime, next week we'll add a movement to it. This is based upon Feldenkrais. Moshe Feldenkrais's amazing movement modality he called awareness through movement. It is my favorite movement modality of all time. I will put links down for free classes that you can participate in online. Now, we're going to go into the next movement. This is a hip flexion movement, but also affecting the hamstrings. So, I'm going to lift my head up just for a second, just to look at my legs and look at my body and make sure it's straight. Okay, I'm going to drop my head back. I'm going to bend my left knee. I'm going to interlock my fingers over my knee. If that hurts, you can grab your shin, right? If you've got any meniscus or ACL or MCL problems, just grab a little bit lower. Or if that hurts too much, don't grab. Or just interlock the fingers over and don't pull down. But we do want to bring this thigh a little bit closer to us to lengthen the hamstrings, but also help with hip flexion. I'm going to raise my right leg up off the floor. It's kind of floating. Both feet are in plantar flexion, toes away from the nose. Can you see me in that camera? I'm going to lift my head up just a little bit, and I'm going to tuck my chin under just to engage the muscles in the front of my neck, the longus colli and capitis. I'm going to hold that position just for a little bit longer. Then I'm going to switch. I'm going to grab my right knee and I'm going to pull this towards me. Okay? So I inhale, grab my left knee, exhale, grab my right knee. If your neck gets tired, let your head drop. Inhale, grab my left knee, exhale, grab my right knee. Inhale, grab my left knee, exhale, grab my right knee. Now you can switch. Let's inhale, grab the right knee. Exhale, grab the left knee. Inhale, grab the right knee. Exhale, grab the left knee. Experiment with different breathing here. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I do. And do you notice which side is more difficult for you to pull the knee towards you? For me, it's the right. I feel a little bit more compression there. What about you? With your eyes closed, can you feel the discrepancy between the left and right? Can you space in and then also create space in by breathing in a relaxed manner? Let's do two more. Okay, let's drop both feet one at a time, sorry, and then straighten the legs. Let's relax here. Take a few breaths here. Okay, next movement. We're going to do some hip circles. What are hip circles? We're going to bring our left leg up and try to straighten it. I will not be able to completely straighten my leg, and that's okay. Maybe you won't as well. Maybe you'll only be able to get this knee up like this, and the lower leg is 90 degrees. That's okay too. Maybe you can get it to about right there. Or if you can straighten it, great. Now, my right leg, I'm going to straighten my right leg and bring that foot into plantar flexion, toes away from the nose. I'm going to engage my right quads and my right butt cheek to keep that stable. The most difficult task of this is not the leg that's going to move, it's the leg that's on the floor to stabilize that side of the body, to keep that anchor. Now, I'm going to try to straighten, and you'll notice it's not completely straight. That's okay. I'm going to bring my arms out to the side just for more stabilization. I'm going to bring my left toes to the nose. That's dorsiflexion. And then you can see from this camera above, watch, I'm going to draw a really small circle, a circumferential circle, while engaging my right butt cheek and my right quad. This is how slow we're going. A really slow movement. And actually, the slower is more difficult. That's why we're doing it slowly, to create neurofeedback and feeling, but also strength and mobility. Now, you may be shaking. My hip flexors are shaking a little bit. If you want to bend the knee a little bit more, you can. You can bend the knee completely and just direct the movement from not the knee, but from the hip. So think, how can I move this from the hip, not from the foot or the knee? Now we're going to switch direction. And I'm really trying to bring those toes down to the nose to lengthen those hamstrings and my lower calf muscles, the soleus, the gastrocs. Let's do a few more. I'm relaxing my jaw. Okay, let's bend the left knee, drop it, bring your arms next to the body, relax here, close your eyes. Now, do you feel any difference between the left leg and the right leg? I do. I notice my left leg, my hip flexors really turning on. Okay, now we're going to bring the right leg up. I'm going to try to straighten this leg. I'm going to engage my left butt cheek and my quads, and I'm going to push my toes away from the nose. That's plantar flexion. I'm going to try to straighten this leg, and then I'm going to bring my toes to my nose, so dorsiflexion, and I'm going to go clockwise and create really small circles, and I'm trying to go slowly. What about your abdominal region? I just noticed my abdominal region really working overtime to help me engage in this hip circle. Yep, and I can feel my hamstrings. My right hamstrings are a lot tighter, compressed than my left one, especially my adductor magnus. Let's do a few more. And I'm also creating the space within my left hip here by keeping that anchor. Okay, now let's do counterclockwise. Let's do two more. Okay, bend your right knee. Let's rest here for a tick. Take a few breaths here. Okay, let's bend our right knee. We're going to roll on over to our left-hand side. There's an area of the spine that bridges the thoracic vertebrae with the lumbar vertebrae. It's called the T12L1 junction. This is a junction that, and I'll try to post a picture of it right up here. I may not be able to get too precise, but think about where your thoracic spine, the rib cage, ends and your lumbar spine, the lower back, starts. That junction, because of the shape of the facet joints, those are the joints that connect one vertebrae to the other from the sides there. They change shape. And so it's a highly immobile part of the spinal cord. And it can cause back problems, it can cause pain in the mid-back, things like that. So how do we bring mobility into the rib cage and the lower back, and especially in that junction? We can do it through this movement. And I'm going to lie on my belly, and hopefully you can see me up above there. You can. So I'm going to start by bringing my left arm underneath here. And then I'm going to bring my right hand a little bit further away. You can see it from up above there. I don't want it too close to me. I want it, now my arm length is going to be different than yours, but you're going to have to find a good position where your arm's not in internal rotation, the elbow's dropping, and the left shoulder outside the shoulder is touching the floor. Now, I'm going to bend my left knee. The reason why I'm doing that is because it's an anchor, so then I can push down this right ASIS, the front part of the hip. I want to keep it glued to the floor, all right? Keep that glued to the floor because we don't want the lumbar spine to move. And we want the thoracic spine to rotate to your right. Okay, hopefully you didn't hear that loud crashing sound. And what I'm doing is, while I'm pushing my left thigh and keeping both butt cheeks tight, I'm going to rotate my rib cage to the right. But I'm pushing my right butt cheek down into the floor. So my right front of my hip is pushing into the floor as I'm rotating my rib cage to my right. So we've got two directions here. My hips go down to the left, push into the floor, but then my rib cage goes to the right. If your head and neck is bothering you, just bring it back to neutral. But you can also rotate the head as well, or you can floss the nerves in your neck by rotating your head to the left. So we've got the hips driving to the left, head going to the left, but the rib cage going to the right. And now breathe into the sides of your rib cage. One more breath. Okay, relax there. Let's place both palms under the chin. Take a few breaths here. Sorry for the sniffle. Okay, now we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to bring my right arm underneath. Arm is horizontal here. I'm going to place my left hand in line with my face, and you can see it from this camera from up above. I'm going to bend my right knee. I'm going to engage both butt cheeks, and I'm going to push down my left hip, the front of the left hip, into the floor. I'm going to keep this elbow low. I don't want the elbow raised up because that brings your arm into the shoulder into internal rotation. And then I'm going to push down with that left butt cheek as I rotate my rib cage to my left. Yup, and I just heard a facet joint crack there. And I'm rotating my rib cage to the left. My head can rotate to the right if you want, or rotate to the left, or you can just oscillate back and forth. But I'm pushing my pelvis, I'm rotating my pelvis to the left, and I'm rotating my rib cage to I'm rotating my pelvis to the right, and I'm rotating my rib cage to the left. So my lumbar spine is pushing down along with my pelvis. So we got the lumbar spine, the lower back, and the pelvis pushing down into the mat there, the floor, but the rib cage rotating to the left. Now can you breathe into your rib cage here? I'm trying to relax my left shoulder. Two more breaths. This feels so good on the rib cage. Okay. Let's bring that right arm back. Let's place the palms under the chin. Rest here. Okay, to finish off the class, we're going to come into extension. We're going to come into a cobra. Since we're already in this position, I thought it'd just a good transition, easy transition. I'm going to place both palms next to my shoulders here. You can probably see from up above, but from the side there. I'm going to have both feet hip width apart. Hopefully they're hip width apart. And then what I'm going to do is pretend there's a string right here. And I'm going to lift my rib cage up without even using my hands. And then I'm going to push my hands down into the mat, and I'm going to let my shoulders drop. Okay, we're just going to stay here for a few breaths, and then we're going to come into a no arm cobra. Now, if you want to walk your hands a little bit more forward, you can. And we don't want this shit. We want the shoulders to drop, and we're going to use the spine to come into full extension. Let's just stay for a couple more breaths. And I'm relaxing my face, tightening my butt, extending my feet back, engaging my quads, keeping that butt tight. Using all my palms, my fingertips, my index fingers, my thumbs. Okay, now slowly come on down. Let's rest here for a tick. And then we're going to do the no arms cobra. If cobras had arms, we'd just cut them off. Okay, now we're going to place the hands back in the same position. But what we're going to do is lift the spine up using the spine. I'm going to tighten my butt and my quads again. And then watch, I can just lift these arms. Look, Mom, no hands. So I'm not using any pressure with my hands at all. I'm not pushing down. My shoulders and arms are completely relaxed. I'm using my rib cage to lift my spine up. I'm bringing my head into a neutral position. And I'm breathing into this. Every time that you raise that rib cage up, at the same time, you're relaxing the shoulders. Two more breaths. Okay, come on down. Let's rest here for 1 or 2 breaths. And then we're going to turn over. We're going to line our backs. And we're almost done, folks. Okay, now, look at your body, make sure it's straight. Tuck your chin under just a little bit, and then let your head and neck fall. Relax there. If you want to turn your head to the left and right and see if that's changed as well after our rotations there, or twists, try that. But more than anything, let's go back to the Vikings statement. Vikings did good things too, except for raping and pillaging. Well, I probably wouldn't be here. Of Scottish ancestry, they invaded Scotland, so. Now, back to the statement. Can we space in? Instead of spacing out, can we create that expansion within our whole body? And instead of being overwhelmed by the pressure of the world, can we overwhelm the body? Meaning, and I said that completely wrong. Let's try this. Let's imagine that our body is like a balloon and we expand it outward. Remember that breathing technique that we used last class? But instead of the balloon being very small, can we expand the balloon to the size of the earth? So when we inhale, the balloon kind of comes in, and then we exhale, it expands to the size of the Earth. So imagine the size of the Earth. And then if you want to go past that, expand your balloon to the size of the universe, to infinity. Create the expansion by spacing in. See you next week.